In this video, we're going to show a little bit of a tour of Google Docs and a few of the features that they have and how to get around in there. First thing we need to do is make sure we're signed in. The sign in from the Google page is up in the upper right hand corner. When you click on that, you can enter your email address, and password. And when we sign in, you can tell you're signed in because your email address shows up here on the top bar. And now we can go around and see a few more features within Google. If we go over here on the left and click on More, you'll see that you can find all kinds of things in here. Documents, calendars, and stuff like that. We're going to look at Documents first. If you click on Documents, what comes up is this screen. Now, on mine, I have a lot of different documents here, and you may not have any, or you may just have one or two. Hopefully you have one or two that someone has shared with you. For instance, one of the ones that I have is the 15-day kid, 15 kids, 15-day kid spreadsheet that Mr. Strackwine made. And also, I have a few others that I made for this presentation. Mr. Olson, Eric Olson, made this one, the PowerPoint here that is for our differentiated instruction presentation. So those are shared, and you can see out here that each document is shown as to who created it and how many collaborators there are on it. Some of mine have a lot of collaborators, and some of mine just have me, or one collaborator. On the left-hand side, you can see a different way to sort out different documents that you have. You can show all items, which I'm doing right now. You can show items owned by you, opened by you, shared by you, starred. There's this little star feature here. You can star ones that are really important. You can show hidden files. Sometimes you can hide files, and that way they don't show up all the time. And I've got a few hidden on mine. You can show those hidden files by clicking there. You can show what's in your trash, what's been deleted. You can show items by type, like only spreadsheets, or only files, or only documents or presentations. You can also show, you can do different kinds of other searches, items not in folders, shared with other people, and so on. At the bottom of the screen, there are folders, and these folders can actually be shared as well. So the whole folder and all of its contents can be shared with someone else. For instance, I have one here named Assessment, and so a number of my documents have to do with assessments, such as Benchmark Assessment Schedule and Benchmark Assessment Procedures. And so those sit inside that folder, and I could just click on that folder itself, and only those things having to do with assessments show up over here. I'm going to click on all items, and I can look at all these things. Now, when it's time when you want to make a new file, you can just go to Create New, and you can choose what kind of file that you want to make. You can also upload a file, like you can upload a PowerPoint or Excel spreadsheet or something like that. And you can, over here in this area, you can check an item that you want to share with someone or do something else with. Notice that we have these little check boxes out here. You can check that box, and you can associate different functions with it. In other words, you can invite people directly through here, or you can get the link to share it to somebody in an email, or just see who has access to it already. You can look at different folders. You can delete things through here, rename things, and you can do some other things. You can star items, hide them, change owner, export things, or submit them to a template gallery. So those are the basics of Google Docs and just the basics of the screen. In another video, we're going to show how to work with a spreadsheet. Let me show you just a couple more things about Google Docs and Google applications before we move on to the spreadsheet. Up in the upper left-hand corner, once you're in the Documents area, you can also go to Calendar. And if you go to Calendar, if you've never been there before, it'll ask you to set up your account. It just asks you to put your name in. And once you do that, you'll see that you have a calendar. And right now I have all my calendars turned, a lot of them turn on. So I can turn those off by just clicking on them. And notice that the whole colored bar that's on the name turns off and things start to go away. And I'll leave just my top one on where it says Russell's Calendar. You can see that it's in blue. And all the items in here in my calendar turn blue. Now my default view is by month. I believe that when you first start it up, it starts off with a default view of the week. But I like to look at it by the month. And so these calendars let you, the first one, the very top one on the left side where it says My Calendars, that's your personal private one. And that one you can share with other people, but you don't have to. I don't. I don't share my calendar, my personal one. But I have a whole bunch of other calendars in here that I do share out with people, such as EVHS assessments, athletics, guidance, presentations, staff events. And as I turn those on, you'll see that my calendar starts to get populated with sort of a rainbow of color of events. And all of those things show up nicely over here. And so then I can tell them apart and which one belongs to which. And if it gets too confusing, I just start turning off items that I don't necessarily need to see. So that's my calendar. And I can view that by day, week, month. I can do it by 4-day or an agenda. I can view the agenda of a meeting or something like that, agenda of a day or agenda of a month. And I can also print this. So those are some helpful things. The calendar is something that I use all of the time. I can sync my calendar with Microsoft Outlook, and I put it on my phone as well, so it sends me reminders. I'll do more videos in the future about how to work with calendars and how to set events and things like that, and how to share calendars. But for now, that's pretty much the basics of Google applications. There are some other things within here, such as videos and maps and Google Groups, which we'll touch on later. Google Groups is a great way to have ongoing discussions or threaded discussions with people in a group. You might want to try this with your class sometime. But anyways, that's about it for the tour.